Hey, how's it going, Islandboy Spices fans? It's your boy, Islandboy, and I'm back with another quick tutorial on how you can hook up an amazing dish in a short amount of time. I'm going to do this video in 10 minutes or less, okay? I'm going to show you all the steps. Obviously, I did some prep work beforehand. If you look in front of me, you can see some prep work has already been done, but let's get into it. So, for this dish, what we're going to have is we're going to have some lamb shanks cooked in a nice red wine sauce with some herbs. We have some oyster mushrooms. We have some asparagus. We have some red bell peppers. We have some red onions. Got some chopped garlic. Of course, our lamb shanks are already seasoned. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. And we're going to put that with some mashed potatoes. All right? So that's what we're going to hook up. Now, as I said, I want to do this, show you how to do this in 10 minutes or less. You're not going to cook this in 10 minutes or less, but this video will be 10 minutes or less. It will cover pretty much all the steps that you need. Okay, now, as I said, there was some prep work that was done. So, growing up in the islands, we always clean our meat. This is just what we do. Right now, if we buy it from the store, you know, it comes out of the package and it goes in some water with some vinegar and some salt or some lemon juice or whatever. Either which way, something acidic like some vinegar or some lemon juice with some salt and some water is going to have a little bath for a little while. So that's what happened with these lamb shanks. And then I seasoned them with our Islandboy Spices rock roast rub. Okay? So I seasoned it with the rock roast rub and I let this sit in the refrigerator for about a good hour. Alright, so that's what happened. That's what you're looking at here now. As you can tell, these shanks are well seasoned. Alright, now again, I used the rock roast rub. The reason why is this spice, this particular product, has in a really cool ingredient, which is Hawaiian hazelnut coffee. Alright, so the Hawaiian hazelnut coffee is going to give it that roasted bean, roasted coffee flavor that's amazing on shanks, it's amazing on roast. And it's called rock roast because where I'm from in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas is also called Rock City or The Rock. So, rock roast rub. There we go. Alright, so, I tell you what, we're going to make this happen. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my potatoes in the pot over here. Got a pot of water with salt and butter going on. And I'm going to get these potatoes boiling. And then I'll come back and show you how we put these shanks together. Alright, Islandboy Spices fans, right back at you. Okay, so time for us to start to work on the lamb shanks, okay? So again, we have some herbs. The herbs that are in here, I have some fresh parsley, some fresh mint, and some fresh thyme. So parsley, mint, and thyme. Don't worry if you're not getting all of this right now. You can get the recipe off of our website, okay? So some herbs, parsley, mint, thyme. I got the oyster mushrooms and the asparagus, red bell peppers, chopped garlic, and I have the red onions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by putting our lamb shanks that are seasoned with our rock roast rub in this pan, in this cast iron pot. So in they go. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about cast iron pots. I absolutely love cooking in a cast iron pot. Now this meal isn't going to be cooked on the stove. I'm just prepping it here, and then the cast iron pot, everything goes into the oven. Okay, so just going to get this ready, and in the oven it will go. But in a later video, in a subsequent video, I'll show you how to care for your cast iron pots, how to keep them oiled and how to keep them seasoned. And you guessed it, I season my cast iron pots with some Islandboy spices. So, but I'll show you that another time. So now this is getting ready. I'm going to let this brown on this side. When I flip it over, then I'm going to introduce some of the herbs that we have over here. I'm going to introduce that. Then I'll put in a cup and a half of chicken stock, which is right here. And I'll also add, tonight we're going to go with some Cabernet Sauvignon. All right, some red wine. We're going to put that in there, make this beautiful, get everything else in the pot, in the oven. Nothing but niceness. Y'all stick with me, man. This is going to be hot. This is going to be nice, right? This is something you can do. Make it easy, make it beautiful. Stick with me, man. I'll be right back at you. Okay, so here we are, getting ready to get this in this pot. So I'm going to go in with the garlic. Just dump that in just like that. All right, that's some chopped garlic. Red onions. Gonna dump that in like that. Here we go. Spread that out. Show you how I'm gonna dress that up in a second. Let's get everything in the pot. There we go. Bell peppers. Okay. Get this stuff out the way. And that's all I'm gonna put in for now. That being said, let me grab chicken stock. So in goes the chicken stock. All right. Y'all probably want to know why I don't have a pot spoon, right? Yeah, I know. I didn't pull one out. That's all right though. It's working. And now in goes that Cabernet. About a cup of that. There we go. Right? Try to get that cork back in there. There we go. Move this around a little bit. Oh my God, I wish y'all could smell this. Wow. Want to take a look at this? You want to come closer? See what's going on? I'll turn that fire down now. There we go. Move that around. Okay. So, it's that time. I am now going to go in with the asparagus. I'm going to put that in. Oyster mushrooms. I love oyster mushrooms. They're nice and hearty. And now we go in with our herbs. Pretty simple stuff, man. Pretty easy to do. Of course, with the asparagus, I cut off the ends, right? You don't want to leave those hard ends on the asparagus, right? Same thing with the oyster mushrooms. You cut off the bottoms, right? So I'm going to make sure that it's nice. This is good. I'm going to get this all set and get this in the oven. You guys, I'm going to cover this up with some foil, get it in the oven, and just let that get happy. Y'all stick with me. I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so as you can see, I got my, these aren't boxing gloves, but, you know, I got my oven mitts on, so I got this pot all wrapped up. My cast iron pot's all wrapped up in some foil. I'm going to go ahead and take this and put it in the oven. I got the oven set to 425, okay? And so I'm going to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes. Should be more than sufficient, right? And that'll be nice. So let me go ahead. Let me get this pot, get it in the oven. I'm going to take a look. I see our potatoes are boiling up nicely. They need a little more time. We want to get those soft. We're making mashed potatoes after all. And yeah, let's make it happen. Here we go. In goes our pot. 425. Let that get happy. I'm going to set my timer. Beautiful. I'm going to come back, show you how it's done. All right, stick with me. All right, Islandboy Spices fans. So, we are back. I'm going to go ahead and start working on these mashed potatoes. So I'm going to strain them in the colander here, and then I'll show you how we mix it up. Our lamb shanks are coming together beautifully. I'll take a peek at that in a second as well. Maybe I'll give you a peek. And we'll have this ready to go here shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and strain my potatoes. Now, I know some people like to make it easier for themselves. Some people use instant potatoes. I'm not a fan of instant potatoes, so I always, peel my potatoes, boil my potatoes, and make my mashed potatoes that way. So, we have that. I'm going to go ahead and let me get my trusty masher here. Keep this on because I got to hold this pot, which is hot. And you want to come and see what I'm doing here? Just in case someone's never mashed potatoes on hand before, this masher, I'm just going ahead and mashing the potatoes. Okay? This is a pretty easy dish to make. You boil the potatoes with some salt and some water, and you strain the potatoes, you mash them. I'm going to hit it with some milk, some butter, and some salt. And it's a beautiful thing, right? So let me grab, you don't have to follow me at the moment if you don't want to, but I'm going to grab me a spoon and some salt. Right back in the shot, didn't go anywhere. Just got my spoon and my salt. And so potatoes are nice and hot. I'm gonna get some butter here. I'm gonna do about 1/4 of a stick. Okay, 1/4 of a stick of butter. There we go. In that goes. All right. Put that on the side. Perfect. Gotta keep this on because the pot is hot. So I want that butter to melt. So I'm just gonna kind of turn it around a little bit with my spoon here. Butter's melting nicely. And then I'll introduce the milk. The milk is cold, so I don't want to put that in until my butter melts. This is my style. You could do it differently if you want, but hey, you cook it with the Islandboy. That's the way the Islandboy does it. Okay? So butter's melted. Just about melted. Awesome. Let's keep you in the pot. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put about a teaspoon of salt in here. So about a teaspoon of salt. There we go. And I'm going to mix that again. Okay. So what do we have? We have some butter. We have some salt. Now, oftentimes at this stage, depending on what I'm making, I may throw in some crushed garlic if I want to make garlic mashed potatoes. But with all of the flavor that's coming out of that whole lamb shank dish, you don't need it. So just go with straight mashed potatoes tonight. Pour in some milk. Here we go. I'll do a little at a time. I start to bring this together. Oh, you should see how this is coming already. The more milk, the creamier. The less milk, the chunkier. Okay? If you like yours chunky, stop right there. Well, you wouldn't have mashed it as much, but if you don't want it as creamy, you can stop right there. I'm gonna add a little more milk to this. There we go. Making some creamy mashed potatoes. Now, it's all a matter of what you want. Some people at this stage will also sprinkle in some black pepper. Nothing is wrong with that at all. You can do that. For my family, not everybody likes pepper, so I'm gonna hold off on putting in black pepper. I'm just gonna keep this like this. This is looking amazing. Just a drizzle. Watch, watch, watch. You ready? Ready? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, that's exactly what it needed. Come check this. Come check this. Jesus Christ. You see that last splash? That last splash is what do this, you know? What a thing. What a thing. Okay, mashed potatoes are done. I'm going to put this back on the stove. I'm going to check that out. Looks like we're running out of time on that. Hang on, let me sit this here. And now typically I wouldn't take this out the oven, but because I want to show it to you guys, and I'm keeping an eye, because these lamb shanks are a little smaller, So what might normally be 30 minutes may actually cook quicker. So I don't want to overcook them. So let me pull this out. Let's take a peek, shall we? Here we go. Boom, like that. You ready for the reveal? This might be done in a but you ready to see what it looking like? Let's take a peek. How's she look? How's it looking? I haven't seen it yet, guys. I know there's a whole lot of steam. Maybe you haven't seen it yet either. Is it looking all right? O-M genius. O-M genius. That's looking pretty good. Almost done. I'm going to leave it uncovered now. Put it in for another 5 minutes. And we're going to plate this. I wish y'all could smell this, man. The red wine, the herbs, right? All the herbs and the red wine, and then that rock roast rub that has that coffee in it, the Hawaiian hazelnut coffee. Oh my God, this thing is deadly. This is like some first date food. You know what I mean? You know when you think on the first date, you're trying to impress us. So this is some first date foods right here, boy. I tell you what, she gonna make you marry her if you cook this for her. You don't have a choice. You're married once you cook this. Trust me. Thank God I'm married already. Otherwise, I'm going to get married again. See there? I can't solve this to nobody outside of my household. And being problems, it's where I come from, Utah. Anyways, let me get off a tangent. Y'all stick with me. I'll be right back at ya. Alright, Islandboy Spices fans. So, right back at ya. And, you know what? It's time to eat, man. You know, I've been doing a lot of cooking here, and this is smelling real good. So, we're going to go ahead and get this plated and sit down and have a meal. So what do we have here? I got 2 scoops of the mashed potatoes on the plate, and I kind of separated some things here in the pot, right? I moved the asparagus off to one side, herbs off to one side. You don't have to do that. I just wanted to do that for plating purposes. It just, you know, makes it a little easier for myself. I'm gonna grab one more set of tongs really quickly, and sometimes this works out super easily, and sometimes it's a little more challenging, but we're gonna get it done. So I'm gonna put this together like this, right? I'm gonna grab some asparagus like this, drop that on the plate like that. Remember I told you all about those oyster mushrooms? Throw some of those on there, right? A couple of oyster mushrooms like that, just like that. And lastly, I'm gonna get a spoon and just drizzle. I'm just gonna drizzle. Where's my bigger spoon? Of course, I got this big old spoon. That's all right though. This right here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, lastly, just gonna hit that plate right quick, right around the edge, like that. Get that off. You could dress that up with some herbs if you like. That's what it is. You got some lamb shanks in that Cabernet Sauvignon sauce, which is a red wine sauce, and some herbs. It's herb infused with those mashed potatoes. You got some asparagus. You got those oyster mushrooms. Now you could do those separately, but I wanted to make it easier for you guys. One pot, and we put it together like that. Again, everything was seasoned with that rock roast rub, Islandboy Spices rock roast rub. This smells amazing. I don't think I can keep the rest of the people in the house with me at bay for much longer, so I'm going to shut this down now. That way I can live to make another video, because if I talk too much longer, they probably gonna knock me out and take this food. So I'm glad y'all were hanging out with me here, cooking with the Islandboy. lamb shanks, mashed potatoes, some asparagus, and some oyster mushrooms is nothing but niceness. Rock roast rub, Islandboy spices. Get at me. Thank you.